have to watch it again. It's such a good intro. So good. It's like a really it's a high quality like anime intro. It's one of those intros that, like, if I was watching an anime and it had an intro like that, I would watch it every single episode. Well, any TV show. So anyway, hey guys, Rorius here. Welcome back to I Love You, Colonel Sanders, a finger-licking good dating simulator. I don't know if we got very far into this day last time, but thankfully the game's out of saves at predetermined checkpoints. You awake to a beautiful morning in Colonel Sanders' hideaway. Yeah, so in the previous day, we spent the day at school, but then, like, it got cut off halfway through, and we just, like, went back to Colonel Sanders' hideaway, his, like, home, and we discussed things. Go check the previous episode if you haven't seen it already. Whatever the case. Did you make the right decision on how to respond to Colonel Sanders? Only time will truly tell. Today is a day that could change the rest of your life. You think about the new secret ingredient you just learned about. Redacted! In some jurisdictions, redacted isn't even legal. But if the recipe is a secret, how will they know? Yeah, so we did read this last time. Your thoughts are interrupted when Colonel Sanders emerges into the room. He's holding a gorgeously plated breakfast, and your mouth waters at the sight of it. Here's a simple breakfast I just whipped up. Fried chicken for breakfast? It's meticulous. You taste Colonel Sanders' food and it takes you on a journey. When you return, he's waiting to ask you an important question. So, would you say that we're the perfect match? How presumptuous. My cuisine and your taste buds, that is. Such confidence, such grace. Could he be the world's greatest gift to cookery? Flatter him. We're not gonna take him down a peg. You know, I think we might make a great team. A single tear begins to pool in the corner of his eye as he gazes out the window. And with the right business partner, I know I can't fail. Business partner? Could he be talking to you? Who else would he be talking to? Talking about you, I think it's meant to say. It's all happening so quickly. Overcome with emotion and confused by your feelings, you're on the verge of tears, unable to speak. The only answer you can find is to run out the door and get home. There's still one more day of school, after all. The University of Cooking School, Academy for Learning, waits for no one. You get home to find something very surprising. Your best friend is there waiting for you. Where have you been? Because I had one heck of a night. I've been desperate to talk to you about it, but I couldn't find you. I got worried that something had happened to you. It's okay, but now it turns out that you're fine. I can finally get you up to speed on the saga of Miriam. Sure, but... Wow, Miriam. You will not believe what happened to me after school yesterday. I went on a date. I think I can believe that. Since I've been partnered up with Clank, he asked me to go out with him. Of course I told him, you better keep your dials turned to polite and respectful. I'm not that kind of girl. But he was just interested in spending some one-on-one time together and getting to know me. So I said, yeah, sure. I can get to know the little metallic guy. Long story short, he took me skydiving with his friends, but things quickly spiraled out of control. Did she just say skydiving? As if that's a typical first date to go on with a talking pressure cooker? And now I'm not really sure where it stands. You don't give Miriam time to tell her whole story. However, bottling up the details of your own night is just too much to bear. And I went on a date too. Back to Colonel Sanders' house where I spent the night with him. You what? Nothing happened, but the emotional connection wowzers. Miriam tells you to move on from this whole Colonel Sanders obsession and focus on school. Oh. If being obsessed with Colonel Sanders is wrong, you don't want to be right. After a short argument, you both agreed to go your separate ways. Okay. Well. Getting into... Wow, she's supposed to be our best friend. When you arrive at school, you encounter your rivals in the quad. You can tell from a distance that they're picking on Pop, though he himself might not quite grasp that fact. Because, you know, he's Pop. What's the swirly? It sounds delicious. Oh, it's great. I'll order you up one right now, or right away. I'll have my swirly with sprinkles, please. Sprinkles is a dog and a treat. You can get your swirly dipped, too. Why don't you pick on someone your own size? Because I'm literally the biggest person in the school. There is that horse that Colonel Sanders rides to school, but who would dare pick on such a gentle and beautiful creature? You've got some nerve, Rorius, suggesting I pick on a defenseless horse. Now you're twisting my words, and I won't have it. You clench your fist, but the injury from yesterday's mixer accident makes you wince with pain. Doesn't look like you could go on cooking like that. Might as well just give up. I'll never give up. Ever. Colonel Sanders arrives just as it appears things are close to boiling over. A naturally intuitive person, he senses that something has been going on. Is everyone excited for the first day of school? Rorius, how is that hand feeling? I'm sure you'll be back in fighting form by this afternoon. Aren't you concerned about my hands, Colonel? Yesterday I almost broke a nail winning so hard. Whenever she says stuff, he's like, ugh. Technically, I don't believe a winner was decided, but your presentation was quite impressive. What is he doing complimenting her? That's not what I took from that. But what about the flavor of my delicate, warm, gooey chocolate sauce? It was clear that you're passionate about how your food is received. That's a lot of words to say. It was bland. Aw. Why are we twisting it? Like, that's not... Why is our character acting the way they are? It's not cool. Excuse me, Rorius. I am more than capable enough to speak for myself. Maybe you could tell me more of your thoughts as we walk to class, Colonel. I'm always interested in discussing the fine art of fine foods. See you inside, Rorius. Annoyed by Colonel Sanders' inability to see Ashley, that's right, Ashley, for who you know she really is, you walk across the quad to get some distance. In an attempt to distract yourself from how slighted you feel by that interaction with Ashley, you take out the spell book you discovered yesterday and start flipping through the pages. Whoa, that's that book! It looks like bad news. It's just something I found lying around. It would appear to be some sort of grimoire, but I don't really believe in that magic stuff, even though we saw a giant spork monster the other day. A grimoire? Like a book of spells? I don't know. Who would spend so much time decorating a magic book if it weren't really powerful? I can think of one surefire way to find out. You open the page covered with arcane warnings. Cast only in case of extreme emergency, it says around the edges of the page. I could use this spell here that says it will erase anyone who I choose from all of my memories. If I scrub out Colonel Sanders, it would probably help me focus better on the upcoming final exam. Wow. That is way drastic. Couldn't you do something else? Like, anything else? Not rooted in dark magic? Maybe try a string around your finger. Okay, fine. It is drastic. But desperate times call for desperate measures. You've got a memory erasing spell sitting right in front of you and a pretty good excuse to try it out. Why? No, you don't. What is wrong with the main character? Don't do it, after all. You take your friend's advice and put the book away. It's almost time for class. Sprinkles is already in the room, waiting for the students to arrive. He clears his voice to make a quick announcement. I want you all to know, I feel something of a dog moment coming on, but I assure you, it's nothing to be afraid of. His cute little nose scrunches up and he begins to breathe quickly. He must be hungry, reach for some old homework to give him as a snack. Dogs can be rather unpredictable, especially Sprinkles. Wait to see what happens. Dogs can be rather unpredictable? Sprinkles stops in his tracks, he focuses on the window, the room is deadly silent. When you follow his gaze, you see a tiny orange squirrel perched on the cherry tree outside. Sprinkles turns feral and runs to the window of the classroom. He begins barking uncontrollably at the squirrel outside. Terrence! I told you never to come back here! Terrence! I will destroy you, Terrence! Sprinkles is barking ferociously, drool flying off his face. The squirrel looks over, but he doesn't say anything back. You wonder, is that even a talking squirrel? Who named him Terrence? You better not show your chubby cheeks around here ever again. After Sprinkles is satisfied that his presence has been felt by not only Terrence, but by any other squirrel in hearing distance, he returns to his professional tone. Ahem! I apologize for the outburst. This actually brings up an important point. Thank you, Rorius, for reminding me to dole out this indispensable bit of wisdom. You see... What? But before you can go on any further, Miriam's love drama spills over into the class. Sprinkles is interrupted by whirs and sparks coming from the back of the room. Oh god. I told you to save it for after class. You think I wanted to be thrown from a plane strapped to a stranger? Miriam and Clank appear to be arguing, but you still haven't learned to speak Clank's language of mechanical noises. But no, you had to show off to your cool kid friends Jeff and Joan. J&J forever. Watch us form a triangle in midair as we descend. Triangles are the strongest shape, don't you know? Bzzt, bzzt. Yeah, well, that doesn't make it a great date. Beep brr. Then take Jeff and Joan with you. You can all hold hands as you pedal down the mountain, or off a cliff for all I care. Sad. Beep. Beep. Sad beep. Clank begins to shudder. Steam pours out of the gaps in his panels, and then a loud ding stops him in his tracks. Beep. Bzzt. No amount of seasoning is going to make me want to eat that, Clank. Clank burps out a completely deep-fried sneaker. Considering that he himself has wheels, not feet, it's not entirely clear where it came from. In terms of deep-fried footwear, I guess it looks okay. Clank slowly rolls out of the room to be alone with his shoe. What is happening? Everyone tries to pretend like they didn't see that entire thing go down. Nothing like a loud public breakup to cast a pall. A pall? Cast a pall over the final day of school. I've never heard that term before. Well, that was unfortunate. But we mustn't be distracted from what lies ahead. The final competition showdown challenge exam. TM, it said. I'm still working on the title, but I think you get it. Test time approaches. See you all in the arena. But before you can think about your upcoming competition, there's a very beautiful soul nearby in need of a pep talk. Ah. Hey Miriam, are you okay? Okay, I'm so mad I could smash a tiny mug, spilling several droplets of hot cocoa all over the floor. How could he embarrass me like that in class? In class like that, in front of everyone. The tiny cocoa is a delicious treasure, so you know that this breakup is no joke. Even if the source of her frustration is such a silly boy. I know that you know this, but I'm gonna say it out loud. You don't need anyone. Me and you, we're gonna cruise through this final test and hit the carpool lane to Success City. Miriam brightens up, imagining the wind rushing through her short bangs, but she hesitates to embrace the feeling all the way. You're not gonna settle up on Colonel Sanders' stallion to ride off into the sunset without me. Of course not. Well, maybe sorta, but... well, maybe sorta, but... I'm sure there's a pony out there with your name on it, and a ranch big enough for both of us, and whoever else we want to bring along. If it's not Pop, or Clank, or anyone else you meet today, tomorrow, or this whole year, so what? You're a special person who shouldn't settle for the first somebody, or someone, to show a little interest anyhow. Miriam gives you a big hug and wipes the tears from her cheeks. Aww. I should really review my menu for today. I'm gonna make a very special soup. And I bet that Professor Dog is gonna love it up. Love it up? While you were pep-talking Miriam, you completely missed lunch. But that's okay, because you had a better idea of how to spend the time before your exam. You decide to head to the arena early to practice the dish. This is it, the location of your final challenge. A test of will, a test of courage, a test of talent. And a chance to beat the pants off of Van and the supposed Man, and his evil counterpart, Ashley. As planned, you begin to run through a quick test of a recipe you've been working on, Rorius' famous chicken pot pie. Is that a thing they sell in American KFCs? We don't have pot pies here. We have pies, but not pot pies that I know of. Like, there's nothing that was referred to as a pot pie here. After practicing for months, making this dish comes second nature to you, and you're able to quickly get a fresh pot pie in the oven. But as soon as you do, your cram session is interrupted by Colonel Sanders. Sakura. Cherry blossom petals falling from the sky, as usual. Rorius, what are you doing here? There's still time before the final exam. Oh, just taking it all in. I'm big into visualizing success. I'm looking at my station and picturing victory. The pot pie has begun to bake, and the smell is slowly filling the space around you. Visualizing, huh? That's too bad. I was hoping you were here cooking something delicious. You'd usually happily share your food with anyone who was hungry, but the last time you let Colonel Sanders get in your head, it cost you a cook-off. You decide that it's time to put your cooking above your romantic desires, but that decision gets hard to stick to when the oven timer goes off behind you. Face up about your practice dish. Okay, you got me. I'm doing a little bit more than visualizing. I know. My nose can smell a pot pie from 400 yards. It's an oddly specific distance, but you'd expect nothing less from such an oddly specific man. You knew it was a pot pie just from the smell? Not just a pot pie, but a chicken pot pie, with an all-butter crust. And my nose is telling me something else. Oh no, is it burning? No, I can smell that it was made with a heaping help of TLC. But it'll probably start burning any second if you don't pull it out. It's the moment of truth. Wow. Yeah. So that's the thing, like, I think, if I'm not mistaken, what makes something a pot pie is that it's a pie crust on the top, but it's just a standard bowl on the bottom. There's no, like, crust. There's no, pastry underneath. That's very uncommon here in New Zealand, but you can get them, but they're very, very uncommon. They're more common in the UK than here, and clearly they have them in the US as well. It's the best pot pie I've ever tasted. I've always loved country cooking. Yeah, I realized after editing the first episode, I was like, why did I should have given him like a southernish accent. I've always loved country cooking. It's the best pot pie I've ever tasted. I've always loved country cooking. I've always loved country cooking, and I could eat this all day. There's no time left. The final showdown is about to begin. Sprinkles lays down the ground rules. There are no rules, that's it! Except to cook with everything you've got. You step up for the cook-off of a lifetime. You decide that mac and cheese plus the pot pie you've been practicing are just the dishes that'll push you over the edge to victory. Meanwhile, both Van and Ashley are preparing wildly elaborate dishes, per their usual over-the-top selves. Miriam has her giant magnifying glass and several sets of tweezers. She's definitely prepared to go big, going small. Colonel Sanders seems to be harnessing his 11 herbs and spices, but he's trying to find a way to improve on something perfect. His original recipe, fried chicken. The intensity in the room starts at a full 10 out of 10, with a frenzy of action. Everyone is calling out really cool special cooking moves as they prepare their food. Wow, this is getting serious. Colonel Sanders batters his chicken as it levitates through the air. Egg wash. Egg wash. Like a move, like an ability. Miriam furiously injects ingredients into an itty-bitty pot of broth. Best friend Baser Blaster! Van flexes his pectorals as he chops open a sea urchin. Let's rock and ride! Wow. Ashley scoops her pastries off the tray with lightning speed. Cello personality spatula! Even Clank gets in on it. Wait, what? He says words? 5-dial pressure point chicken cooking technique. Wait, when did Clank learn to speak English? It's a singularity, as was foretold. We mustn't let it happen, or the appliance uprising will take us all. Self-destruct. Van quickly unplugs Clank and rolls him out the back door of the arena. As you frantically prepare your dish, you notice Ashley has a spellbook out. Is she going to use some dark magic to turn the tide? You've got a book of your own, and you're desperate not to see her win another battle. Should you take this opportunity to fight magic with magic, even if it's almost certainly evil magic? Do it the hard way. Who needs magic when you've got passion? I'm gonna do it the hard way. Colonel Sanders sees that you've chosen to win on your own terms, and he gives you a subtle wink from across the room. It sounds like, pretty sure, did Colonel Sanders before say something about, like, you shouldn't need to use dark magic to achieve your goals or whatever. He said something in the previous episode. I believe in you, Rorius. Miriam notices too. And I've always believed in you, Rorius, since we were little kids, because I'm your best friend forever. You turn to notice that Miriam is at your station, cheering for you. Miriam, what about your dish? If you're here cheering, who was cooking? Tiny food, short cook time. I'm actually already done, so I thought I'd help you. Oh, that's sweet, but... Miriam tosses a handful of spices directly into your of boiling noodles. It's the secret ingredient. However, she doesn't know that you lied and the ingredient was made up. And where in the world did she get Eye of Newt from? The boiling pot explodes, sending Miriam flying backwards. The watery noodles begin to swirl in the air, bubbling up into a dark cloud that thickens and congeals before your very eyes. Oh my god. It is I, Steve the Spork Monster. Steve? Wait, what happened to Borko? You're not here to battle me, are you? We Spork Monsters are many. I think Borko had the day off. But you have conjured Steve, and I hate to battle. So, so this is a different Spork Monster? So I'd say you're doing pretty alright. Oh hey, you're in the middle of a cooking competition. I love this stuff. It's better than TV. You crazy kids and your culinary skills really impress me. Mind if I hang out? Sorry, Steve, but I'm kind of in the middle of something. Do you mind? Aww. Steve the spork monster notices that you've got the grimoire stashed beneath your cooking station. I see what you're up to. Crisscross some magical items and accidentally summon me, huh? Yeah, you guessed it, sorta. If you're here, would you mind tossing some fresh noodles in the pot of salted water? I'd love to. I always wanted to be a top chef, actually. You know, when I was just a little spork pup, back in the old country, you can feel Spork Monster winding up to tell a very long and involved story. You don't know exactly where they came from, but it seems like it was probably lonely there. Actually, you know what? Maybe you should watch from the stands. I really need to focus on this competition. I understand. It's kind of like that time in Monster School when I had fallen asleep during scare tactics class and when I woke up. You toss a serious stare at Steve and he takes the hint. Never mind, I'll tell you later. Good luck. Okay. Having suffered this huge setback, you don't know how you could ever win. Give up and drop out of culinary school. You summon extra power from deep within yourself. I can do this. I have what it takes. I came here to win. Your hair turns mac and cheese orange as culinary energy flows through your body. My heart is pure. My hands are steady. My taste buds have been preparing their entire lives for this. Yes, Rory, you're the chosen one. You will avenge me. Power you've been summoning immediately fades back out. You interrupted my inspiring monologue. Sorry. My heart is pure. My hands are steady. My taste buds have been preparing their entire lives for this moment. I will show the world my cookery. Begin to levitate off the ground. Energy courses through your body. You know that with this power you can do anything. Except turn back time, which would be super useful because while you were powering up, your chicken pot pie overcooked in the oven and can't be served. But don't worry, dear Rorius, you may have suffered some setbacks, but it's all not lost. Impressed with your fortitude, Colonel Sanders decides that you have earned his support. I've been watching you today, and I must say, I'm truly impressed. You've been thinking on your feet and rolling with the punches. He steps up to your station and stands right beside you. I'm here to help. All you managed to make is mac and cheese, and time is almost up, so you're going to need it. But Colonel Sanders, what about the test? What will happen to you? What about the rules? Following the rules has never really been my thing. I follow my heart. What a guy. Colonel Sanders unfolds. What is this music? Colonel Sanders unfolds a delicate white towel to reveal the most delicious fried chicken tenders you've ever laid your eyes on. And besides, sometimes unexpected combinations can have surprising effects that surpass their individual efforts. Are you suggesting if we combine forces, we can form the perfect food union? Time's up, students! With time expired, it's the moment everyone has been waiting for. Yeah, so, once again, I don't think they serve mac and cheese at KFC in New Zealand. But, I've seen some people eating, like, KFC with KFC. Mac and cheese with, like, fried chicken bits, like, chunks in it. Which looks delicious. I don't really like mac and cheese that much, but that looks freaking fantastic. I'm assuming that's the dish we're gonna serve here, and we're gonna win. You must now prepare to present your dishes. A handful of students stand tall, but the class seems incomplete. It seems we're missing some students. Pop? Clank? From off screen, you hear a pure and innocent giggle that can only come from one student. I'm flying. It sounds like something's coming from that broom closet over there. Miriam, would you mind? Inside the closet, you see Pop hanging on a broom hook by the elastic of his underpants. I see. Pop, get down from there right now. Let me guess, did Van have something to do with this? When someone asks for a wedgie, who am I to refuse? I thought a wedgie was a salad. It looks like Pop is I think these guys' voices are actually really similar. It looks like Pop is eliminated from the challenge, seeing how he didn't cook anything. I can't feel my legs. May I be excused? Sure. You kids and your pranks. I must say, it's not the worst prank in UCSAL history, but it's not exactly the yearbook material. Wait a second. Pranks. Clank! Where did that pressure cooker roll off to? You wait to hear a signature whir, beep, or other onomatopoeia, but there's none. Somehow he must have gotten unplugged, I guess. We'll have to figure that out later. Seemingly Sprinkles was not paying attention to the cook-off. That leaves only 4 remaining students. Please collect your final projects. Yes, it has been a long semester. Wow, 3 whole days long. But after days of hard work, the time has come for me to eat. Miriam, please step forward. Now describe your dish. I've made... Oh my god. Tender udon noodles in savory soup. My word, it's so delicate. Is that a teeny tiny Narutomaki I spy afloat in its itsy bitsy bowl? Yes, chef. Please, call me Sprinkles. Chef is my father's name. Wow. Yes, Sprinkles, and some green tea made from baby tea leaves that I picked myself. Sprinkles carefully sniffs around the dish before opening his mouth and letting just the tip of his pink dog tongue dip into the bowl. Sublime! Would anyone else like a taste? Oh, come on, I'm not one of those dogs who doesn't floss. I even have a really cute electronic toothbrush for dogs. Fine, I'll enjoy it all myself. In a flash, the entire meal has been devoured. Not that it took much. It was less than a thimble's worth of soup. A+. Rarely do I taste a dish with as much love poured into it as yours. Uriam is overjoyed. She gives you a big hug. Thank you, Rorius, for helping me to believe in myself. Van, you're up. Now, describe your dish. I made... I see. Uni over smooth egg custard in an axe-hewn urchin shell, topped with caviar. Did you skewer one type of urchin with spines from a second, different colored type of urchin? Yes, Sprinkles. A bit much, don't you think? That's exactly why I did it. A bit much is kind of my brand. Doesn't it look cool? Sprinkles leans in to sniff the uni. Is it uni? I don't know what that is. That looks like the word uni, which is short for university. Is it a Japanese food? But he can't get his nose close on account of all the spikes. He begins to paw at it erratically, causing the custard to slosh around. Please be gentle with my cuisine. Finally, Sprinkles goes all in tongue first, but he can't get past all the needles. He reels back as his tongue is poked and prodded. Ouch, my tongue! The professor appears to be having an allergic reaction to the sting. I can't eat this. It keeps poking my tongue. Disqualified. A stunning turn of events. Who would have thought that serving food on a bowl made of needles could make it difficult to eat? Dejected. That's so... I think that's a little unfair. Like, that dish did look amazing. It looked amazingly presented. Dejected. Van does not go gentle into the night. Disqualified? For glamour? Don't discount simplicity. Someone needs to give that dog an EpiPen. This isn't the last you've heard of me. Before forcing us to endure his swollen tongue for another moment, Sprinkles graciously laps up a bowl of milk. I know. Yeah, I'm a dog and I drink milk. Get over it. Sometimes it helps calm my agitated tongue. Next student. Ashley, it's time to step up. Now describe your dish. I made orange blossom Turkish delight in a light rosewater syrup, topped with French meringue and connected by sugar glass. It does look amazing, but it looks like it's not, like it doesn't provide much sustenance. That actually doesn't sound too bad. Indeed, it's quite delightful. However, I'd ask that you please refrain from eating it or attempting to taste it in any way. It's very fragile and meant to be a display piece. Don't eat the food at a cooking school. Got toast in your ears or something, Rorius? I told you, it's a display piece. Ashley, I must say, it is beautiful. However, this is a cooking competition at a cooking school. Yeah, which is why I cooked it, and did an extremely good job cooking it too. I didn't realize that we were having an eating exam. If I wanted to be judged on eating, I'd go to the College of Eating, School for the Hungry. Sprinkles is not happy. I suppose you could smell it, if you absolutely insisted. But don't breathe too hard, you might disrupt the sugar spiral. If the food cannot be eaten, it cannot be judged. You are disqualified. Rage overtakes Ashley as she finally cannot keep her two-faced routine up. You wouldn't know high-end cuisine if it cooked you! And with that, Ashley storms off to rededicate herself to being the best, but this time, without being shackled by trying to be fake nice and liked by everyone. This isn't the last you've heard of me either. If this class gets much smaller, I'll be teaching myself. You and Colonel Sanders, the final cooks, step up together. Two chefs. What began as a bowl of delicious mac and cheese has become something else. Yeah, it's the dish in the intro. He examines it closely, sniffing and eyeing the bowl. Uh-oh, I don't have a good feeling about this. From somewhere in the room, a literal drum roll plays. Just when I thought I'd seen everything in this kitchen, you give me this? This thing and completely blow me away? In my 49 dog years of life, I've never tasted anything so delicious and perfectly balanced. It's so delicious, in fact, that everyone passes the class. You pass, and you pass, and you get a pass. Everyone gathers. This is so dumb. Everyone gathers around and partakes of the mac and cheese bowl. They all seem to transcend this reality into another dimension. You win. Together, you and Colonel Sanders have made a new menu item. The new menu item is so impressive, even the Van and Ashley are drawn back by its magnificent fragrance. When they gaze upon your mac and cheese bowl, they admit that you are indeed an excellent chef. Sprinkles declares that you have passed. Everyone has passed. There were supposed to be more battles, but come on, how could you be any better than this one? Okay. What's with the weird. Now that the school year is complete and everyone has graduated, the students return for one last assignment, to get their groove on. The cafeteria has been completely redecorated in order to serve as the site of the school's graduation dance. Graduation dance at a culinary school? Compared to the massive high-tech cooking arena, the humble decor seems downright cute and cozy. I don't think that music's supposed to... Wait. Let's see if I can load. The final bite. Okay, it's still playing even when I loaded and replayed it, so whatever. Pretty sure the sound was coming from when we presented our dish, and it just never went away. Whatever the case. DJ Dog is in the house! You knew that Sprinkles was a master chef, but also a world-renowned turntablist? Who says you can't teach an old dog new tricks? Van and Ashley tell everyone that they've committed themselves to righting the wrongs they did while they were the villains. For a moment, you actually believe them. Not another haunting. No ghosts allowed at graduation. It's clearly written in the school's bylaws. Oh my god, of course. I was never actually a ghost. It was all a trick to get you to finally notice me. Oh, amusing. And now that everyone is together, it's the Spork Monster. He is totally mellowed out. Everyone, the Spork Monster is no more. From here on out, I'd prefer that everyone refer to me by my new name, Party Monster. Student tries to finish what he had to say, but everyone is too wrapped up talking to Spork. Sorry, Party Monster. Dejected, student walks off. Aww. Maybe things didn't work out for Miriam romantically, but she found the love in her cooking, and you know she's gonna do great. The red carpet rolls out across the floor of the ballroom. It's like a Hollywood movie premiere. Who could command such an entrance? It's Pop. He's arrived late to the dance, but apparently for good reason. Walking the carpet, you see perched atop his dirty shift's hat. A crown? Welcome back, Pop. I know you weren't able to compete in the final exam and accept your diploma, so we had it mailed directly to your father. We figured it was the least we could do for the school's dean. Oh. Oh, now I get it. And we get a new wing on the school, not to mention the honor of educating the son of the counselor of such and such. I see. Chancellor of such and such. The music of the dance is interrupted by the sound of sparking and electrical hissing. It's Clank, who has arrived late to the dance. Now that I have graduated, I can reveal my truth. Whoa, he's still doing the talking thing. I am Clank, and I'm not of this earth. I'm actually from a faraway planet in another dimension. What? What? I actually feel like I knew it this whole time. Now that I have learned the ways of your kind, I must return. Miriam, will you come with me? I don't know what to say. Besides no, obviously. I've just begun to learn who I really am. This isn't the time for me to devote my life to figuring out who you are, Clank. You're blown away by Miriam's maturity. It's pretty clear she's managed to surpass you in that regard. I understand. Kind of. Humans are weird. A portal opens up and Clank disappears through it. Finally, Colonel Sanders arrives. Howdy, classmates. Just like the first day you met him, he had to... Howdy, classmates. I'm hearing it now, that it's like, oh, why did I could have gone to a southern voice. Just like the first day you met him, he has come prepared to feed the entire class. However, it's not enough to just give them a bucket of chicken. This time, it's a full meal. I didn't get to be the most famous chicken man in the history of chicken and man by not reminding people to go out and buy my chicken. I see. He's using our recipes. The end? Question mark? No, it's not the end. I was gonna say, I would hope it wasn't the end. Just leave it on that. As everyone feasts on their delicious chicken dinner, Colonel Sanders finds you sitting at the edge of the dance floor. Rorius, what are you doing sitting here all alone? Oh, you know, just waiting for the right person to ask me to dance. I wonder, might you tell me, what are the qualities that you would expect to find in such a lucky person? Off the top of my head, oh, I don't know, a spicy musk, a tidy goatee, and a degree from the University of Cooking School Academy of Learning, just to name a few. It is truly my lucky day. Would you dance with me? Yes, I would love to. As you glide across the dance floor, hand in hand with Colonel Sanders, the future stretches out in front of you. And once my 100th franchise is up and running, I'll be ready to take off, and I'll be so glad to spend it together with you, Rorius. How sweet. We'll work together and play together. Colonel Sanders stops dead in his tracks. Work together? Well, I think this is something I'll just need to do by myself. But who will help you run the restaurants? Or run your restaurants? I don't believe I need help. Besides, based on your time at school here, do you really think running restaurants is the best path forward? Could it be? You found a love connection, but failed to earn Colonel Sanders' respect as a chef? Can you live with only half of him? Will you ever be able to endure sharing him with his other love, the life of an entrepreneur? I suppose I could enroll at pastry school. Oh, my dear Rorius, I'm sure that you'll find your place eventually. And along the way, you'll have me by your side. The end? Wow, what a weird ending. Does it just go back to the menu? Okay, it just goes back to the start of the game. I'll skip the intro. Well, I don't know if this game has multiple endings, or how that works. Because it... Did I not get the best ending? Did I fail to get the best ending? Okay, I just looked up a walkthrough, just to see what I might have done wrong at the end there. The only thing I can see that I've done differently to someone else getting the true ending, the proper ending, because that's like half ending. That's like you got the love side, but you didn't get the food side. The only thing that's different is that I didn't do one random thing. But I thought I chose correctly because it didn't look like I chose incorrectly. For this part, I chose the dogs can be rather unpredictable, especially Sprinkles. Wait to see what happens. And then it did the whole thing with the squirrels. Apparently, you choose this one? He must be hungry? You reach into your backpack and grab some homework from the last semester that you forgot to turn in. Sprinkles immediately goes for it and gobbles the sheet of paper like it's a piece of fresh chicken rawhide. I apologize for the outburst. I know it seems cliche, but not much in this world satisfies like ungraded work. My, Rorius. Were you studying? Something with cinnamon? I've been sitting in on a lecture series around the art of cake baking. How insightful. This actually brings up an important point. Thank you, Rorius, for reminding me to dole out the indispensable bit of wisdom. And then that skipped the squirrel thing. That's weird. Like everything else I chose was exactly the same. Okay, no, okay, there might be... There's only one other thing I can think of that I didn't do. Oh, this is the other thing I did wrong. Originally I was like, save the moment and everything that it tells you about Colonel Sanders' culinary heart. I did that, and apparently that's not the right answer here. You're supposed to try and identify every flavor, which probably gives you one of the... No doubt that'll give you one of the recipe ingredients. Could it be redacted? Yeah, I didn't get that. I'd be interested to use that. Yeah. Okay. Interesting. Yeah, and then he tells you a secret ingredient. So yeah, like, the food part, the part where he wants you as a business partner, I guess. That you have to basically determine the 11 herbs and spices, it would seem. I think almost literally everything else I did was the right choice. Okay, I think that dialogue was just a little bit different. Colonel Sanders? Yes, Rorius? I couldn't help but wonder, was our final exam team-up purely an act of strategy carried out by two cunning chefs? Or was there something more? So I went through and did all of the things. There was like 2 things that I missed throughout the whole game. And I don't even know if one of them actually has an impact. The feeding the dog homework, I don't know if that actually has an impact. It feels like one of those decisions that's like meaningless. The only one that I genuinely did that was different was the trying to identify the flavor, focus on the flavor and trying to identify that secret recipe thing that happened, and like, that was day 1. Day 1 I thought I'd done flawlessly, but that one decision, I think, Because if you do identify the flavor, you get a secret recipe item. If you don't do that, then it just continues, you know, it just doesn't, you don't die or anything, you don't fail. I'm afraid I can't answer that question directly. Instead, I'd like to ask you a question of my own. May I have this do-si-do? Colonel Sanders extends his hand to you and you feel a surge of energy jump off the tip of his fingers. His hand, the hand of a master chef, so dedicated to the craft of fine cookery, so tender yet refined, so milky smooth, fingers like finely battered drumsticks, turned in flour, soaked in buttermilk and dusted with exotic spices. But they do not reach for tongs, a knife, or even a spork. Tonight they reach for you. And though our feet may tire of dancing, I believe that this is just the beginning of our steps together. Colonel Sanders, will you not only join me on the dance floor, but in the kitchen, as my co-chef and partner in both business and in life? You gasp, could it be? Is he really saying? Me and you together? Ever since I met you, my dream has changed. It's not enough to simply open the world's greatest chain of fried chicken restaurants. No. Even then, my life would be incomplete without you by my side. So what do you say, partner? I say, I love you, Colonel Sanders. For the real end? Wow, that was a life-changing 3 days. Overwhelmed by everything that just happened between you and Colonel Sanders, you step outside to get some air. The quad is dark and quiet. Too quiet. You start to smell something salty, potatoey, gravy-y. Just then, Spork Monster appears. Hi, Rorius. You had some pretty sweet dance moves back there. Why, thank you. You weren't too shabby yourself. That moonwalk you did was pretty cool. Wow. Oh, you noticed? I'm so embarrassed. Anyway, I have something to ask you. You see, life as a potato-like creature is difficult. I have no place to call home other than people's nightmares. Oh, I had no idea. I was wondering if I might be able to come home with you. Permanently. I'll run out and get the paper in the morning and everything. What do you say? Yes, adopt me as adorable, or no, a dorm room is no place for a Spork Monster. Sure. The heart's coming out of the Spork Monster. My hero! I will forever be in your debt. The end. Seriously though, this is really... it really is this time. Yeah. That's it, that's it. So yeah, by the canon of our series, we didn't get the culinary, we did not impress culinarily enough. But we were impressed romantically enough, which was good. This intro is amazing. Oh man, I wish more studios would do shit like this. Like, doesn't need to be an ad. Like, I kind of wish that more studios would do silly, like, visual novels and stuff like this, because there's plenty of animes that has this kind of stuff in it. It has like this that kind of intro, that kind of quality. But I feel like there's like not a whole lot of like super funny visual novel style games like this. That freaking like the combination of like music and visual style and the humor. I don't feel like there's a whole lot of games that are like that. Like Dream Daddy was good in that. Same vibe, you know? Dream Daddy was a little less intense in the intro sequence, but had a similar vibe to this, where it's a lot of humor. It doesn't take itself too seriously, you know? A lot of visual novels are way too dramatic for my taste. Yeah. Oh no, this was great. I really enjoyed this. Whatever the case, that'll do it for I Love You, Colonel Sanders, a funny looking good dating simulator. If you do know of any other games like this, preferably ones that aren't ads for other things, and if you have any like dating sims and stuff like that that are funny and are good natured, let me know, because I'd be keen to play them. I enjoy trying to stretch my voices out and try and do different kinds of voices, because I do love voicing characters in the games. But whatever the case, until the next series like this, if you like what you saw, hit like. If you want to see more from me, then subscribe. Thank you so much for watching, and until next time.